Hi everyone and welcome to Stamp with Angela. I'm Angela Palmer and I'm excited to be here with you today to share some ideas and inspiration to help you with your card making, your stamping, your paper crafting. So thank you for joining me. Whether you are joining me live on either Facebook or YouTube, just having a quick look, making sure that they're both working. I appreciate that. Or some of you I know will watch the recording later. I come live each Thursday at 1:30 p.m. New Zealand time. And I know that during the day doesn't suit everyone, but the great thing about these lives is they are recorded and you can watch them when it suits you. So thank you for joining me today. Appreciate you being here. So I hope that each week through my lives, I can share some ideas and inspiration to help you with your paper crafting. And today I'm going to share some tips and things to do with the Stampin' Up paper trimmer. I'm still going to be making a card, so I will show you that too. But I want to show you some of the great benefits of our paper trimmer. And sometimes with these lives, it's more of a card that I make, and I get to show you some great product. And this is one of these tools that is kind of essential for card making and things. So when you're starting out with card making, if you're fairly new to it, obviously kits are a great way to start. And then the next step would be something like using maybe a stamp set, inks, stamping spots are good, and maybe some card packs, which are like pre-cut envelopes and cardstock, and that's a good way to get started. Then if you're wanting to take it to the next level, getting some cardstock, and also a paper trimmer. For me, my paper trimmer is an essential tool for my card making, and it's a good sort of next step up when you are expanding and doing more with your card making or paper crafting. So today I'm going to show you the paper trimmer and some tips on how you can use it to help you with your card making and things. So let's take a look at the paper trimmer. All right, so we have here, this is the Stampin' Up paper trimmer. So it cuts and scores. So as you can see here, we have got two blades. So the lighter one is for scoring. So think of that, it's a lighter touch. So it just scores a line, which is great for making folds in your lines or boxes or things like that. And then the darker gray one here, it cuts through the card. And as long as you've got a nice, clean, sharp blade, it makes nice, straight, crisp edges. And then, of course, we've got our ruler guides here to help us so we can measure things up and get it looking really nice. So the paper trimmer is very good in the sense that it comes in both imperial, 3 inches, and your metric, which is useful depending on which way you like to use. And this here is like our the arm. It comes in imperial, but you can get a metric. So this one here, I've replaced mine with the metric. So this here just unclips and can come off. So it's easily, you can swap it around. So it's just got a little part here and here. So I just clip it in at the top and then I clip it in at the bottom and it just kind of locks into place. So when I'm moving it around, it, well, generally holds. Obviously you don't want to shake it too much, but it just clips into place like so. So when I'm scoring, you're pressing with this one, obviously not too hard because we don't want to, go through the cardstock too much. And then we've got our cutting here as well. So I'm going to do a little bit of cutting and show you some tips and then some other features about this as well. So I have here, this is an A4 metric size piece of cardstock. And my recommendation is score first, then cut, and then it's 1 score line, 1 cut. So if I want to make a standard size card, I'm going to line it up for metric at 10.5. And as you push the card so it's nice and level, not angled, but up against the top, against that line there. And then push this down and hold this down. So as you're scoring, it's not moving around. So I'm going to go from the top to the bottom and I'm going to score like so. And then I'm not sure how easily you can see that. We have a score line. So I score it first, then I'm going to turn it and I am going to cut it half of an A4. So that is 14.85 if you want to be exact. So I go to like 14.8 and just past that. And this time I'm going to use the darker one to cut. So it doesn't matter if you go from the bottom up or you can come down, either way. And now I've got 2 card bases cut and scored, ready to go. If I cut it first, then I'd have to score them separately. So it's much easier to score first and then cut. Now with your blade, when you're cutting, it is good to sometimes go down and sometimes go up. That way you're using both edges of your blade and you'll get more uses of it. And yeah, the important thing is obviously to keep your cardstock nice and straight. Now over time, this track here will pick up paper fibers. So what I tend to do, you can get a scrap piece of card and just put it into the track and just push it along. And I can see fibers already. So I don't know if you can see, I'll bring a close up. See all these little bits here? They were in the track. So I'm just going to kind of flick those out. So you do need to clean this track regularly because otherwise the buildup will be there and then it's not going to cut quite so well. So that's a little tip for that too. Now, if you are cutting large pieces of maybe designer series paper or something big, and it needs to be bigger than that, you can extend the arm way out here. So this goes all the way up to 43 centimeters. So you can, score something a lot larger. I'm just looking for something on here. So this is a 12 by 12 size. So you can see now I can, cut it smaller or even score a very large width. So the extendable arm is very useful, and then when you don't need it, you just put it away and it's all good. All right, so sometimes after a while you will need to replace your blades, particularly your cutting one. So you can buy replacement blades in a pack of 4. So there were 4 in this. It comes on a little tray thing here. So they click in to keep them, obviously the blade side is there protected so you don't cut yourself. So I like to have some of those on hand. So when I am cutting and it's starting to look a bit frayed, I know it's time to replace it. Now, obviously I've been cutting lots of paper shears, so I have recently replaced my blades. So you'll have a look, I'm not sure if you can tell, but down here, where is it? Here. It kind of gets slightly wider. So basically you can bring your blade down to there, and then of course I'm going to do it live and it's not going to come out, and it lifts up and can come out. There we go, and it just comes out like that. So you just find where that wider bit is, you can push it in there too, click it. So it's sliding here, it's not coming out, but the minute you bring it to that bit and lift up, it will come out. Okay, so some people, if you find you're cutting and it falls out, it's because when you're getting to the end, you're actually pulling it up and you're pulling it into that bit and it lifts out like that. So just when you're cutting, just keep it, oops, I haven't put it in properly, just keep it flat backwards and forwards and it won't fall out. So if I do this, they're not going to fall out, they're in place. And the same, you can take out your scoring blade if you need to as well. Now over time these get well used. I have had to replace my scoring blade once, but I have had this many years, and you can imagine with my classes I do use it a lot. Sometimes over time these bits may break or this may sort of wear off. So you can also get a pack of 2 scoring blades if you need to replace those too. So that's the great thing about that as well. But definitely have cutting blades on hand. So I've shown you how to cut, replace your blades, clean the track, the extendable arm. Some other tips and things. If you are needing to cut a particular distance, I'm trying to find a scrap piece that I've got that I'm not using for, let's use this piece here. So you can use these measurements on the side. So like I said, mine are, I've changed it with the metric plate. So for example, if I wanted to cut only 3 centimeters down, I can lift up Now on the side here, there's a little line. I don't know how well you can see it. And I can line that up with the 3 centimeter mark. I can start there and I can go up. And this is, you know, that line just from that particular mark. Or you could do the same with scoring. Let's say I want to score from 4 centimeters up. I line that line with the 4 centimeters. I push down and I score, and that it only goes a particular distance. So it's, you can use the arm, depending if you've got metric or imperial, and measure this way as well, which is great. If you're cutting cardstock, I tend to cut 1 layer at a time. If it's designer series paper, it's a little bit thinner. You could actually cut, you know, 2 layers at a time, which makes it really good. You've also got these grid lines. So if you're cutting something, you can line up, you know, here to make sure that it's straight and not wonky as well. If you're wanting something just 6 inches, if you push it as far against here, then that gives you 6 inches too, which is very helpful. A tip if you're cutting diagonally. So I'm trying to find a scrap piece of cardstock that I can cut diagonally. Here we go. No, it's an envelope. All right, I'm going to make this into, what size is it? A square. So let's say 11 by just over 11. All right. So if I want to cut diagonally, I'm going to line that point with the track line and this point with the track line. Now, sometimes if you cut here, you're pushing into that point and it's very hard to cut. So the best thing to do when you're doing something like this and it's a narrow tip is line it up, start in the middle, go up and go down, and then you've got a nice cut. So if it's something like that with points, start in the middle and cut up and cut down. A little tip like that. So these are lots of great tips and things for the paper trimmer. I love mine. Obviously over time this gets a little bit dirty with glue and different things, so I just get some isopropyl alcohol and a cloth and just wipe over it, and then it gets rid of any of that kind of stickiness and things as well. So remember, you've got the imperial and the metric. You can have an imperial or metric, can't quite remember what this is called, a slider or something like that. Remember to clean out this track so it gets rid of all those bits, and you've got the extendable arm as well. So lots of features, and on the bottom are these little things to kind of keep it nice and flat as well. Make sure when you when you're cutting that your cardstock is right up the top, so it's nice and straight, then you get a nice clear line. So let's do a little bit more cutting, and I'm going to make today's card. So this is an A4 sheet, and I'm going to cut it into 4 because I want like a cutting layer. So I'm going to cut it at 10 centimeters. So I'm going to cut 1 there and another one. The good thing about both of these, they both sit out the way, and then you can just bring them down. So you can also just check at the bottom that it's level there as well. Push it up straight, cut down. And then, so that's at 10 centimeters, and then I want to cut it at 14.3. So 14.3, I'm just going to do extra, and then I'll show you the card that we're going to make today. So I'm just going to do a whole sheet, then I've got spare pieces ready to go. All right, so with these extra bits, up to you. If you want a really narrow sentiment, you can use them. Otherwise, you can get rid of those. Now I'm going to next use a piece of the 2-tone cardstock. I'm going to use cloud cover. So this was a 12 by 12 and I've cut it in half. So now I want to make it a little bit smaller than what my white was. So I'm going to make it 9.7. So you just count the little lines. So I usually go like 5 and then 6, 7. And I want to make it a little bit less than the 14.3. So I'm going to make it 14 and cut it like so. All right, now I'm actually going to use that, use that piece for something else, although I probably need it to be slightly wider, but that's okay. All right, what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to cut one at 10. I'm going to cut this bit off first because I want a wider one. Then I'll cut it at 9.7. You'll see why in a little bit. All right, so I'm going to keep this bit here. Okay, so that's some tips for using the stamping trimmer. Do you have any questions? So the stamping trimmer is a tool that I could not live without. It's one of my tools that I use all the time, and yeah, an essential tool, I feel, if you are doing paper crafting and things. So let's make today's card now that we've cut all our pieces. So I'm going to use the two-tone cardstock. This is cloud cover, and I am going to use the darker side, and I'm going to use this joining together embossing folder. So I don't know if you've seen this. This is part of the what's it called? The Imperfections Suite, the Kintsugi Imperfection Suite, which is the there's a stamp set, dies, and then this embossing folder. So I'm going to bring up my machine and put that through. So that's a 3D embossing folder. So I'm going to use my specialty plate with my plate number 1. So I will put this through, and you'll see it come out the other side. And then while this is here, I might cut something else as well. Right, so this is what it looks like. Now remember, I said I had a little narrow piece. I'm going to put that in as well. Was that the same width? Or that's the same width, so I should have 2 of them somewhere. Where's the other one gone? Here. So I'm just putting 2 pieces in as well. You'll see what I'm going to use them for afterwards. So let's put that through. And then while I'm here, I'm going to cut the die out, but I need to change my plate configurations. So I'm going to use the Spotlight on Nature, and I'm going to use a smaller circle die. And where's my scrap piece of white? So I still need my 1 plate, but I also need my 2 plate and my 2 cutting mats. So this is on the wrong side, I know, but I'll move it across at the moment. So this is a 3, if I get that the right way. So I've got 1, 2, 3, then I'll put my dies down, and then I'll put a 3 on top. All right, so you can watch it come through from the other side. So when I'm cutting a die, I need a base plate 1, a plate 2, and then 2 cutting mat 3s. And I'm going to show you another cool tip. So let's take those out. Move this away. All right. So when you have a die that has got lots of little bits in it, I highly recommend the die brush. So this is an accessory to the Take Your Pick tool. So this is the Take Your Pick tool. Just move all the extra bits out. This is the Take Your Pick tool, which is great for picking things up, or the putty, or there's other things you can swap around. You can also take this end off and you can put on a die brush. Now I use this all the time, so I've got 2 of them. You can have 1 and just switch it around. So with this, you get the foam mat, you get a couple of foam mats. All you need to do is roll over it like this, and you'll see lots of the bits are coming out. Isn't that quick and easy? There they all are. There might be a couple in there still, so we can just push those out. It will cut much better if you've got all the white pieces out. If you try and cut it again and it's still got bits in it, it's not going to go through quite so well. All right, let's do this one too. So going around the edge like so. Can you see all those bits coming out? There's a couple that might not. All right, then we can push it out. If we've missed a couple, I know they're okay there. There might be a couple in here. We can just go again. Or you can get the pointy end and just poke the last couple out. And then you can cut again. So most come out, but you might have to poke a couple out. All right. Now you can pick this up. It's not gone everywhere. Tip it into your rubbish bin, and then you can use it again for something else. So if you've got intricate dies, if you don't have a take your pick tool and a brush tip, then I highly recommend it. So you can buy one of these, you get this and you replace it on that end, and you get the foam mat as well. So these are so good. All right, so this is ready for our card, and I'm going to show you what we're going to make. So this is the joining together embossing folder, and this is two-tone cardstock. So what I'm now going to do, you can probably see the pattern's a little bit hard to see, but I'm going to get some sandpaper. Just use some, you know, fine grain and just sand it gently. And it takes off the top layer. Because this is two-tone cardstock, there's white in the center and the white comes through. Might just do this a little bit. So just delicately, carefully sand that top layer off, and anything that's raised, the white will show through. And now you can see this very cool pattern. Now, if you don't know much about the kintsugi kind of technique in Japan, when things are broken, they're not discarded and thrown away, you can put it together, and they put gold in between, keeping it all together. I'm just seeing if I've got a catalogue handy to show you, but oh yes I do. So if you look in the annual catalogue, this is where it is from. You can see here is the kintsugi inspiration. So traditionally the gold was put in between the broken parts to put it back together. So this is the whole set in papers and things. So you'll see with this embossing folder, there's different patterns and the lines, and then it's all put together. So I am just sanding over it, and then you get to see that cool pattern. So I love the two-tone cardstock and the way that you can sand it and you get that white color come through. So what I'm going to do next is adhere it to a slightly bigger piece of basic white. It's just a very slight border, and I'm going to adhere that. Sometimes the glue, if you don't use it, gets that sticky part on the end. Just pull it off, then your glue is ready to go. If it still doesn't want to come out, sometimes you have to get something like a paper clip and just put it into the hole to unblock anything. All right, there we go. Now just be warned, if you are cutting something that has been embossed, because of the ups and downs, it might catch and not cut very carefully. Sometimes if I have to cut something, I might turn it over so the blade is on the top half. But oops, now I've moved it. That wasn't good. But ideally, that was silly turning it over. See if I can move it back. I know we're just being able to manipulate it slightly. But ideally, yeah, I don't want to try and cut too much when it is already embossed. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some ribbon, and I'm going to add a contrasting color. I'm going to add some Secret Sea. The other thing when embossing, sometimes when you emboss, because it's pushing the image down, sometimes it might make it wider or longer depending on the design. So you just have to bear that in mind. Now, question mark, do I have some tape in here? And I don't know if I do. All right, how are we going to do this? Okay, we're going to have to improvise. So usually I will tape this down. I'm going to try glue. I don't usually do this, but my tape is next door. I'll just hold that. Definitely usually tape for, yeah, it doesn't want to stick because it's not being held down. Okay, once that's on, it does not want to stay. All right. Okay, we might just have to improvise, and I will. So next we're going to put this on here like so. So maybe as I glue the card down, it will stay in place. Let's hope so. Usually something I forget to bring across. So let's just put some glue on the top as well. And adhere that. Tuck it in. And adhere it. I don't know if you can see it, but a piece of hair showing up on the page. There we go. So I've got the contrasting color of the secret C behind. Then what I want to do is I want to add a little sentiment. So I want my focus to be the embossing folder. I don't think we need to add too much more to it. So I'm going to add a thank you stamp to that, which is here. And my block is here. It's quite a big one. Doesn't need to be that big. I'm using cloud cover, so we're going to stamp in cloud cover. But I guess I could have also done secret C. Now with cloud cover, there's no big ink refill. So I have used one of these uninked stamping spots, and I have inked it up using the ink refill, and now I've got cloud cover ink. And stamp like so. There we go. I've also labeled the top with a piece of cardstock and the bottom so I know what color it is, because when you've got a whole lot of them out and they're similar colors, it's hard to know. Okay, so then I'm going to put this on here. I find if you stick it in the middle, then it will move with the ribbon. So I like to put dimensionals above and below, and then it kind of holds it in place. So put one at the top, one at the bottom. I also like to use my take your pick tool to remove the back of the dimensionals, and I'm going to put that on like so. I want to add a little bit more ribbon to that. I was giving it time to dry. So I'm going to get another piece of the secret C. I will actually angle the ends a bit. And I've got my scissors that are only for ribbon. So then I get nice crisp edges when cutting. I hope I haven't made that too small. And I'm just going to tie a knot. Like so. Now to finish that off, I can add some embellishments. So for my embellishments, I'm going to add some of the in color flat pearls, as it were. Sorry, just opening the packet. So I'm going to add, odd numbers are good, 3. So like 1, 2, and 3 down there. Oops, it's stuck to me. 1, because my finger's sticky from the glue. I'll do a small one. Another good reason for using the take your pick tool. 2, 3. There we go. So I'm happy with that. And I'll show you a tip for the inside. So I've got a piece of white. Now I could put just white in there, or I could put a piece of cloud cover behind. But remember the strip that I did? I've got to find it though. Oh yes, here we go. I didn't sand it, so let's just sand this bit too. I don't have a stamp to stamp inside my card. Oh, that's got water on it, so let's not use that piece. Let's try another piece. Okay, so what I'm going to do is glue that on like that, put that inside the card, and then it links the front and the inside together. So often I will stamp something inside the card, but I don't have a stamp that coordinates, well, not one out anyway, with this. So this is another alternative. You could use, if you've got designer series paper on the front, you could put a piece of designer series paper in the inside, or you can stamp an image if you've got an image you can use. All right, so there is my card. So that is the joining or join together embossing folder. I've got a couple of variations to show you. So I've been making some monochromatic cards for my In Color Club. So this is a version of it. So it's the same except it's cloud cover and it's on cloud cover card base too. And I've even used cloud cover ribbon. For this one here, it's very similar, except I've used the white because the white comes through with that one. So what do you like with the cloud cover card bases? Do you like it with the white ribbon or the cloud cover ribbon? And then when you've got all three, what do you like? So this one obviously stands out more because it's that contrast. We've got the cloud cover here, but then the secret sea, and then the secret sea really stands out, or you've got more of a subtle look there. So these are more monochromatic. This one is the same design but with contrasting background. So there you go. So I hope you have enjoyed today's card. I've showed you how I have cut it, and some of the tips for using the stamping trimmer. So I'll go over a couple of things. All right, so I'm just going to have a look and see what questions have come up as well. So give me a moment to do that because I do see a couple of questions or comments and things. So I see a question. No question is a dumb question. It's always good to ask questions. How do you wash or clean the white matte area when it's not long, white or sticky because you forget to check? So Linda, can you confirm, do you mean this white area here? How do you clean this? Is that what you're asking? So if this is what you mean, you can wipe it like with a baby wipe. But if it's got kind of sticky and stuff stuck on it, then use isopropyl alcohol with a cloth to wipe over. That's what I did with this before I did it today. I wiped it over with an isopropyl alcohol to get rid of it. And sometimes this can also get sticky. So I'll put some on that and I'll wipe over this as well. All right, so looking at the cards, Joanne says she liked the one in the middle, but the ribbon looks different to the cardstock. So yes. So this one here, so this is cloud cover. I guess because this is two-toned, it is slightly different. If you look at this cardstock, it's the same kind of color. The two-tone cardstock is slightly different tones of the cloud cover. But yeah, so that's the cards. So let's do a quick recap of our wonderful paper trimmer. Who's got one? I definitely find these great to use. So remember that when you are cutting, you've got the grey for cutting, and this dark grey, I should say, and then the lighter one is for scoring. Make sure that when you put your cardstock in or your paper in, that it is flush with the top, so it's nice and straight. So when you're cutting, you get a nice firm image. When you've got an A4 piece, a big size piece, score first and then turn it and then cut, and then it's only one score line, one cut line. You've got the extendable arm when you need to cut a really wide piece, and that tucks away. You've got the imperial and the metric measurements, and then you can have this here. It could be it comes in imperial, or you can swap it for a metric one like I've got. Also, when you're cutting, make sure when you put it down, you're putting this down, hold this in place so the paper doesn't move, and then cut and score. If you need to change your blades and things or take them out, come down to the bottom, find where that little extra gap is, and then lift it up, and then it should come out just like that. And you can change them if you need to. And putting it back in, all you need to do is find where that is. Just slide up, push it down, and then and once it's in the rest of the track, it won't come out. So I love my paper trimmer. It's a great tool. Yeah, Jo says she uses hers every time she crafts. Lots of you have trimmers. So yeah, so that is great. Excellent. All right, so just see the comments regarding the two-tone cardstock. It is a slightly different color, as you can see. some are saying slightly more greenish. So yeah, in this particular case, it is a slightly different color, but it still, you know, coordinates well. Wonderful. Now, a couple of things to share before we go. Lots happening this month. So many of you are on my mailing list. So if you are, you will already be part of this. But can you believe it? It's October and just over 12 weeks to Christmas. So I'm doing my 12 weeks of Christmas. So starting today, I'll be sending out a little bit later a tutorial with a Christmas card tutorial, only exclusive to my mailing list subscribers. So it won't be on Facebook or other social media. It will just be through my mailing list. So if you're on my mailing list, you don't have to do anything. You will get it. But if you're not on my mailing list, sign up today. Sign up before next week and you'll get all 12 tutorials. So there'll be card tutorials. There'll be some tags, gift ideas, bags, that kind of thing as well. So you'll have some great ideas for Christmas. So in the description is a link on how you sign up to that if you're not already on my mailing list. Now this month, Stampin' Up have got an amazing joining offer. Well, actually 2 joining offers, so you can see which you like. So to join up anytime, it's $189. And usually you would get $285 worth of products. Now for October, if you sign up and pay $189, you will get $407 worth of products and no shipping and some catalogs and other things as well. So it is wonderful. It's a great way to be part of a community, a family of other demonstrators. You'll be on my team. If you want to, you can go to events. I'll be there to help and support you. You can just join for yourself and just get the discount. Or if you want to do classes and things with others and maybe get the odd sales, you can. Maybe you just want to get together with a friend and make a kit together and that kind of thing. Maybe you'll sell the odd kit. Whatever your reason to join, you're welcome to, and you can pay $189 and get $407 worth of products. Now, particularly if you're wanting something big like the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, you can get that in your starter kit and add a couple of more things. Now, if you're keen to join, but the $189 has been a bit of a stretch, there is a new offer, and it's only $67, which is amazing. And you get $285 worth of products, which is the usual amount you get when you pay $189. So it's only $67, and you can choose up to $285 worth of products. So if you've kind of been wondering, oh, is it for me? Why not join and check it out and see what it's like and join my team? And like I said, you know, we get together as a team on Zoom. We've got our Facebook page. We do team swaps. You can be involved as much as you like. That works with you. When I first started, my youngest was 1. And so I didn't have a lot of time to do other stuff. So I just did a little bit and I didn't really get to go to Stampin' Up events. But now I can do more. So you can make it work for you. It's totally up to you. So if you've got any questions, please ask. And I'd love you to join my team. I've got team members from all over New Zealand. So you don't have to be local to me. You can be wherever. Now I'm going to switch cameras back to me here. So I'd love, if you'd like to know more, please ask and I can share some information with you. Now, Stampin' Up on Sunday afternoon are holding a opportunity session. So it's about an hour and you get to come along and they'll share some of the benefits and information about joining. I'll be there too. So let me know. I'll send you the Zoom link and you can join as well. So that's on Sunday afternoon. If you can't make that, but you'd like to know more information, then let me know as well. Now, also, did you know that this Saturday is World Cardmaking Day? So that's the 4th of October. And if you haven't already, I encourage you to register for Stampin' Up's World Cardmaking event. It's free. Now, even if you can't do it live then, that's okay. You can sign up. They'll send you the recording and you can watch it when it suits you. So that's really cool. And they've said there'll be a small gift as well. So I don't know quite what it is, but maybe a voucher or something. I don't know. So why don't you sign up? Even if you can't join live, you get to watch it later. Now, they'll be sharing about the handmade helpful kit. I've got one, but you can still take part whether you've got it or not. So why not join? Maybe you'll learn some new things and it'll be lots of fun. If you're local to me, I'm on the North Shore in Auckland. at 4:30, so half an hour before it starts. You can come to my place. Got a few people coming. We're going to gather. We'll watch it together. I'll show you the kit. Some have got the kit, and we can just have fun gathering together and participating in the Stamping Up event together. So you can watch it online yourself when it's happening. You can watch it later, the recording, or you can come to my place. Now, you do have to register by tomorrow, 5 p.m. tomorrow, if you want to take part. So make sure that you register. So it'll be lots of fun. It's World Card Making Day, so let's make some cards. And whether you can make the cards they've got or your own thing, it's all good. All right, so lots of information. So remember the 12 weeks of Christmas. Remember the join offer. You can, $189 and get over $400 worth of stuff, or the cheaper kit for $67. I don't think it's ever been that low. So why not sign up? And then obviously World Card Making Day, register, look out for your free gift, watch it live or recording. And then Sunday, if you are wondering about should I join or not, why don't you contact me? We'll go to the opportunity session together, hear a bit more about it. And I'd love for you to join my team. I've done this for 13 years now. I kind of joined for the discount and just to have some me time doing something I like. But I've stayed, I've made mine a business. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. But the community, the friends, that aspect of it is made it worthwhile for me to, stay around and do what I do. So thank you so much for joining me today. If I can help in any way, please reach out to me. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Until then, thanks. And we'll see you again soon. Bye.